Hi, and welcome to Eating Plebian. Today we are doing rice pilaf. Let's go over next to the stove and we'll get started. We're going to need one medium to large covered casserole. Go for the circular ones because they don't have hot spots in corners that overcook the food while the center of the food is still cold. I've got a cup and a half of rice. I'm using basmati. It's my favorite type because it doesn't clump up as much. Salt and pepper. I've got 3 cups of chicken broth. I have a half an onion, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, 4 ounces of sliced mushrooms, a handful each of corn and peas. These are frozen, so about a third of a cup each, just a handful. 1 carrot, finely chopped. I've got a bouquet garni of thyme and bay leaf and a teaspoon of sage. If you have fresh sage sprigs, tie it up in the bouquet garni. Let's get rolling. All right, so anyways, I've got my 12-inch heavy skillet over here. We want to have something that has a little bit of a heft because what we're going to be doing is actually toasting our rice first. And so I'm going to turn this on medium-low for just a couple of seconds. And I've also got a saucepan over here. This saucepan is here to heat up the chicken broth. And I'm just going to place that in right off the bat because I can. And I'm going to turn that on to low or medium-low, one of the two. I just wanted to get it to simmering. And with the big skillet here, I've got my rice over there to the side, and I have my cooking oil and a silicone spatula here to move things around. So what I'm going to do is put this oil in the skillet, just get it coated around, and the raw rice is going to drink up quite a lot of that. But it's kind of necessary for the process. Let me get that in here. And we want to get like a nice nutty aroma out of here. And over a period of time, over the course of about the next 7 to 10 minutes, you're going to see it starting to brown. You'll definitely smell it. And it's a great thing too, that little nutty flavor. We want to get just a little glisten of oil on all the rice. It's going to help us out. It's going to conduct heat. Otherwise, this would be a rather painful process of trying to toast rice literally one fragment or 1 grain thick at a time, and that's going to be that would be not a easy thing to do. So, all right, as we've got this going on, I am going to save a little bit of time, although this hasn't yet hit a simmer. Because these are frozen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take our corn and our peas and just toss them in here so they can thaw out. I don't need to cook them. I don't need to stew them or anything else. I just want to avoid the extra cooking time having frozen vegetables inside of my rice pilaf would take. You've got a heat sink basically going on there. So we're going to let this come up to simmer, and this needs to heat up a little bit more. I will be back with you in just a moment. And a minute or two later, interpersonal relationships with Flynn 101. Never tell me not to play with my food. Ha ha ha. All right, so I'm going to give this a stir up, and you can see that some of the grains of rice are starting to brown already. We haven't gotten up to the simmer on the stock or the chicken here yet, but as I said, it really doesn't need to be. It just needs to get warm, particularly. Now I'm going to warm up my oven as well, and I'm going to set this to 375 degrees. We're going to get the heat on and moving in there. And we're probably halfway done already with the rice. And even though it's not technically liquid, this stuff is hot, 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 hot. You don't want to get it on you. Like, a roux for gumbo is considered Cajun napalm. This is a close second. Fortunately, at least rice grains tend not to stick with you with the same ferocity as roux would. We're starting to get a little bit of steam here. That's good. Now, I'm going to take my sage, and I'm going to place that on the inside. And also my bouquet garni, and put it in. We'll be adjusting salt in here in the broth in just a couple of minutes. But we're going to have to make sure that that is all seasoned up before we put it in, because there's almost no way to add the salt after you cook, not without having to really mix the stuff around, and it gets messy that way. And also, in the meantime, I'm going to take my onions, carrots, and mushrooms, and I'm going to place these inside of our casserole dish and just leave them there at the bottom. So there we are. Set that here. Yeah, almost done. This will be the last rotation. I'm actually going to drop the heat down a little bit because it's moving fast. But still, that smell is great. You can tell that that's not the same white basmati that we put in here just a couple of minutes ago. That's probably about done, as a matter of fact. All right, so I'm going to turn this off, turn the heat off anyway. And I'm going to grab a tasting spoon. I can already tell you that I'm going to have at least a half a teaspoon of salt in here inside of the chicken broth, and a similar amount of black pepper. Stir this in. And lastly, let me give this a test out. What I am looking for here is like salty seawater is my target. Maybe just a little bit more, but remember, even if it tastes too salty here, yeah, it's going to need just a little bit more because it's going to be diluted within both the rice and the mass of the vegetables in there. So it's going to dilute that down. So I'm going to go for another half a teaspoon. Don't want this to burn. Even though the heat is off, it still can. So just move this around a little bit. All right, I think that's about ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rice off the burner and put this back here for the moment, just so you can see it. I'm going to add the chicken broth with the vegetables to it. Turn the heat off underneath that one. And now I am going to add the rice to this. All right, now, word of warning. Don't ever take the hot rice, or take the broth and add it to the hot rice. Take the hot rice and add it to the broth. Otherwise, you could get flash steamed very easily. Now, this is still going to hiss and spit and do all sorts of nasty things, but it's not going to jump up and leap at you. So, just important to know. It has to do with the amount of heat, heated up mass going into the water versus the other way around. So, all right, I want to get all of that because I'm going to use my skillet later. I have other things that I'm making for my dinner tonight. And I'm going to just stir this in. Now, when you stir this in, you'll also will see that the rice will actually fall to the bottom, and that's a good thing because we want it to remain immersed in the chicken broth. And just for ease of recovery later, I also have the bouquet garni that's floated to the top. That'll be there for retrieval. And so I'm going to take my lid, put it on, and now this is going into the oven for 45 minutes. Come on, you. All right, let's take a look here, shall we? It's been 45 minutes. I still have some things in the oven, so I'm going to close that back up and let that continue on for the rest of my dinner. Oh, look at that. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? So I'm going to take my spatula here and we're going to just poke at it a little bit. That is perfect. What we're going to end up doing now, after I take out this packet of herbs here, is I'm going to cover this up and wait for the rest of my dinner to get served up. But it smells great. It smells nutty, chickeny, very herby. This is exactly what we were gunning for. So we're going to go for plating here in just a moment. And now it's time to get everything dished up. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. That wonderful steam and the really great aroma of this pilaf is just kind of wafting out. It's really great. So I'm just going to go ahead and give myself some. You can do all sorts of things with the pilaf. You can add and detract different ingredients as you will. It's just a really great side to go along with any poultry. It also goes along with steak, certain types of fish. It's just a real all-rounder if you don't want to stick with potatoes. And thanks for spending a few minutes with us here at Eating Plebian. I hope the recipe helps you out. It's a very simple recipe once you get past the toasting of the rice. And it's just a real medley of different vegetables and just a great aroma and nutty quality that you just don't expect from rice. Just trying this out. The chicken flavor comes out beautifully from the broth, and it's just something that is also very often requested inside my own house and from other places as well. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe buttons. It's not just a rote thing that I ask. I mean it very sincerely when I say it helps me out immeasurably when it comes to being able to get my content out there to people who I kind of feel need it. So many people aren't learning basic cooking skills these days. And when they are, hungry, they're going to be going for the most expensive option, which is, restaurant and takeout food. And those bills are absolutely crazy. So anyways, have a good evening. Enjoy your cooking. I will see you next time.